Good morning, boys and girls. This is a happy Sunday video. On Friday last week, made almost 10K in one trade. And I thought, you know what? Let's break down a trade that I took last week. This is the last trade I took on Friday night. For me, on the overnight session, we'll break it down, all the confluences, what made it a trade that I wanted to go in with extra size. And if you look at the chart right now, right, this is a pretty small little movement, right? But that's the move exactly there, what made me almost $10,000. If I held this trade, and of course, you never know when it's going to do these things. If I held this trade, there would have been a $53,000 trade just up to there. So do I feel any FOMO on that? No. And I'm going to explain why I like to take small trades versus holding the whole yard. Okay. But let's break it down. All right. So this was the Take Profit Trader account. Here's the little screenshot and the recording of me taking the trade. Okay. I'll just overlay it here. Boom. Okay. Done. So if we take away these, okay, so here was the confluences at the time. We had the previous day value area low we were coming down to, and the developing profile, which was for the overnight session, because I was trading the overnight, okay, looked like this. All right at the moment of me taking my trade, looked like this. Now, what am I seeing here that makes me confident in going in for a large leverage trade down here? Well, first of all, we've got the first thing we're looking at is the profile. Okay, so look what happens on the profile here. We've got not a distinct high volume node, but we've got an even distribution formed across this channel, PDPOC, PDVAL, an even distribution formed across here. So across this sort of range at the lows between yesterday's fair value and yesterday's discount is a fair value range. Okay, and we can see earlier price came down and tested that previous day value low, and it came below, put in a little bit of volume under there, but it ultimately got snapped right back up into the value area and back into the volume distribution here and range back to the upside for doing the same and rotating back. So when the markets came down, those are the two confluences that I was using. Okay, we have previous day value area low when the markets are ranging, right, and holding within a range, as you can see it did from value high to value low to point of control to value low. I'm looking to play that exact same range, okay? And the extra confluence I have on there is, like I mentioned, with the developing profile, we've got an even distribution sitting across this range, across here. Now, it's not as clean as your usual even distribution, but what you're seeing is exactly that. The volume is concentrated in the range and completely tapers off at the lows. And the market's already been down here a couple of times before, and that volume has remained low. So when the market makes that push down here, all right, to go down to previous day value low, the volume is still low. I'm happy to take that long. It gives me a little bit of extra confidence to go long. So I get long there. I go in with max size. This is my biggest balanced take profit trader funded account. So I'm risking quite a bit on these accounts. I use my take profit trader accounts quite aggressively because there's no consistency rule and no payout caps. So I like to really push them heavy. I go for a 1-to-1. What I'm targeting here is I'm just targeting back towards this distribution node here, okay? That's my target. And my stop loss is just a simple 1-to-1. I took 0 ticks of drawdown on that trade entry, right? That's the exact price point I got in. I got filled, not a single tick of drawdown. It ran straight up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 to 5 minutes to make almost 10 grand. And I got out of that. And I closed my charts and went and enjoyed my Friday night. I made a post about this in school as well, because what I've been trying to encourage people inside my group to really burn into their brains is that 1-to-1 trade, in my opinion, for most retail traders is the secret sauce to becoming a consistent trader. A 1-to-1 trade, yes, if I held this trade for longer, for the whole move, even just to this previous day point of control, it would have been like a $20,000 trade, like a $30,000 trade. Up to here, it was over $50,000. But the thing is, guys, more often than not, the market's going to do this. It's going to come up to 1-to-1, pull back, maybe even come out down worse, stop you out, maybe balance around a bit and then pull back up again and do a lot of this back, forth, and chop you up, okay? More often than not, it's going to do that versus getting you this perfect, clean breakaway. If you keep trading expecting to get these perfect, clean breakaways and massive trades, you're going to really burn yourself and leave a lot of profit on the table. Whereas if you look at areas in the profile and in the market where there are these higher probability, weighted coin flip areas in the market, and you just go for a one-to-one, you consistently go for one-to-one, you're going to get paid more often than get burned doing that. And with something like volume profile, your win rate is high enough to where one-to-ones are more than enough to cover yourself and stay profitable. My win rate sits around the 70% mark. So if I take 10 trades at one-to-one, risking $1,000 per trade, after 10 trades, I'm netting $4,000, okay? And that keeps scaling up. And I say to people, one-to-one might feel small now with your current account size, whatever risk you're using. But the beautiful thing about trading is that it scales up. Same amount of work, right? The same exact tiny setup, for me was almost $10,000. For you, that might be $200, right now. But as you build your account size, build your confidence, and grow your risk appetite, get to a point, that same exact trade that made you 200 like this can then make you 10,000 like I did on Friday night. So don't dismiss one-to-one trades, guys. One-to-one trades, 95% of my trades are one-to-one trades. And for me, when I implemented this a couple of years ago, this was one of the things that skyrocketed the amount of payouts I was able to take, and overall just boosted my confidence and that winner effect like crazy versus holding for the bigger trades all the time. Because like I said, you're more likely to get burned trying to hold for big trades than just exiting, cashing your chips before the casino takes them back. Okay, look for those high probability pockets. Take your flip and get out. So that was my Friday night, guys. The New York session had a lot of good setups as well, but I'll leave that for you today to go through and have a look. Thought today was Sunday night special, be good to break down a trade I took. Actually, one of my best trades so far this month in terms of P&L and accurate entry. So I thought that's a good Sunday night opener. I'm about to head into the live Asian session now inside school in about 17 minutes. So if you want to go deeper on volume profile and come join the daily live sessions, access to all the educational material, as well as the daily live sessions and the entire community. All right, we got stacking up a bunch of community wins in here as well. Just last week, we had Andrew take another payout, 5K for the month since joining, and he's just been moved to live as well with top one futures. So members inside are killing it. We're up at 319 members now. So I'll link that in the comments below if you want to come join. Otherwise, I'll see you again tomorrow.